Hi, Sociology of the Family students. I'm your instructor for the course, Dr. Monica Snowden. My intention today is to provide you with a little bit of further explanation for what to expect in the course. And I will also be providing another short video that highlights a few aspects of the PowerPoint slide, give a little bit of discussion on some of the content on the PowerPoint slides that accompany this week's material. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will look at the syllabus together, or at least the tentative course reading and exam schedule, which is included in the syllabus. So for the first week, we did introductions. I did put the first chapter down for you to have read for the first week, or at least start reading. However, the quiz opened this week. This will be different than weeks going forward. For example, next week, chapter 2 will be covered, and the quiz for chapter 2 will also open and be due at the end of next week. But first week, we're just getting started, introductions. I wanted everybody to do the plagiarism quiz and just start thinking about what we'll be looking at and covering in this course over the semester. So you also will notice that on this tentative course schedule, you have, particularly in the beginning of the course, the chapter that is assigned, and then if there is a required supplemental reading. So for this week, it is the article Querying Family Scholarship. You'll notice that next week there is nothing, there is not another reading listed, but there will be an assignment for weeks that do not have supplementary required readings listed, at least for most weeks. This will include, maybe answering some questions that covers the book, and or listening to some audio or watching some video. So I encourage you to look at the assignments as well as the discussions, because they may also include, as this week it happened to be, some video for you to watch. So I encourage you just to look at the, when these open, and sorry, I didn't make this larger here. When the assignments and discussions open, to look at what will be expected of you. I will be pointing out, however, that on the second slide of the PowerPoints that I post for every week, I try to give an outline for how the material for the week will be covered. So I will note in there if there's a supplemental video, if there is supplementary audio for you to listen to, that will accompany an assignment and or discussion. And I also try to note the length of time of those additional materials that it will take for you to review, that you'll have to review to complete that assignment or discussion. So hopefully that can help you budget your time. The quizzes that you will take over each chapter are intended to be a gauge for you and how you're moving through the chapter material in the book. I would not see them as all you need to do to prepare for exams, but they are a gauge. Exams will include essay questions, and exams will also, may also include questions over the supplemental required readings, as well as, questions that maybe did not appear on a quiz. The quiz questions are selected from a bank of questions randomly. And so you have 2 attempts, and as it's stated on your syllabus, you may not get the same questions each time. So even if you get the score that you want the first time you take it, it may be helpful for you to take it again, because you might get a different question or 2 or 3. It sort of depends, but it might give you, just a little additional practice, I guess, way to study for the exam. The quizzes are not intended to guide you through the chapter, to take place of reading the chapter. So I did allot 15 minutes. That's more than a minute per question. It looks like so far the people who have taken weeks The second week's exam are only taking about 5 minutes, so it's going pretty quickly, it seems, for people. But the expectation is that you will have read the material first before you take it. But at the very least, by taking the quiz, it should help you see where the material is at, and give you just another tool to help you cover it and again prepare for exams. So let me see. I think that's all I wanted to emphasize with that. In addition to, once I wanted to note exam weeks. Exams week, the exams should open, probably will open on the Friday. So Friday before the week the exam is due. It is noted in your syllabus that the exams will be due midweek. The reason I have them due midweek is because we do begin coverage of material for the next section of the course during that week. Week 7 is the first exam, and we will begin chapter 6. However, I will not have an assignment during exam week, but there will be likely a discussion. So, and there will be also a quiz over the chapter for that week. So do keep that in mind. There's also going to be a quiz over chapter 5 that complements, that and chapter 5 is included in exam 1. So, things are gonna overlap some here. That quiz will not be due until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. But the exam will open, prior to that. It would be my expectation that you would take the quiz first to help you prepare. But, I guess technically you would not have to. So these are just some things to keep in mind as we go through. There's also 3 graduate students in the course, which is really a benefit, I believe, to everyone. And the graduate students have some additional requirements that they have to meet to complete the course. And one is they will be presenting to you on a family issue, each one of them over the course of the semester. And they will do that through the format of a discussion. So you'll also see a few graduate student discussions appear. And I think that will be interesting to have some other folks put together a discussion, share some things they are learning from articles that they're reviewing for they're actually doing a term paper, and ask us, pose some questions for us to think about as a class. The other thing I wanted to note is that I have graded that first discussion, and I put comments, or I gave comments to everybody. I do expect that you will look at the comments I share with assignments and discussions. Sometimes the comments are a simple, great job, or a pretty brief. But I also provide feedback when I see things that I think you need to work on, things you're not getting right, or seemingly struggling with, or sometimes I just pose you some questions that I think, given whatever the assignment was or the discussion, sometimes it's just their thought questions, or they're questions that think about, if you answered an essay question on this topic or issue, consider also these aspects of the issue. So, but again, it is a way for me to communicate with you and to share feedback, and to help you as best I can move through the material, and get the most out of it. So sometimes people comment back to me. I don't always see those notifications. I'm not sure I get notifications on the comments that people make to me in the assignments or the discussions. So sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't, is what I'm saying. And if you did make it, and if you did share a comment back to me about an assignment or a discussion, and I don't respond to you and you would like a response, certainly please, let me know that, and I'll be sure to attend to it. So that is the some things I wanted to highlight. Oh, one more thing about the syllabus. For these weeks where there is not a supplemental reading, as I said, there will be an assignment, but you'll also notice that after week 12, there are no more supplemental readings assigned. There will be assignments that we will do and discussions those weeks, but the semester is front loaded fairly, somewhat heavily with those additional readings. But they lay a lot of the groundwork for the course, as the topics that are covered in these, particularly in the first 5 weeks, 6 weeks, continue to be relevant to the topics that are covered in for the rest of the course. So that is one reason for that. And in addition, students, as sort of my perspective, that oftentimes students have term papers or other projects that are due in other classes towards the end of the semester. So I know that sometimes people, hopefully it helps with your time management and meeting all the expectations that are placed on you for college and everything else you do in your lives. So having said that, I am going to stop at the moment, and I will pick back up with the some comments and discussion of some of the PowerPoint slides. But for now, it is really great to have each of you in this course, and I look forward to getting to know those of you that I have not had in a class before, and for those of you that I have had before in other courses, it's good to have you in this class. So let's stop there.